I was waiting for someone in the main media to talk about the whole NBA World Championship thing because it's very, very funny what kind of logic they're trying to justify to call the NBA the World Championship. And Stephen A. Smith might have just done the most flawed and ridiculous take to defend the point.
Congratulations to your greatness. Continue to represent this country the way that you did. Major props to you. I'm sure he's a good brother and the whole bit. He just came across as flagrantly ignorant, and that needs to be said. The NBA has established itself as a global iconic brand.
First, let's address that point. Just because the NBA is a global brand doesn't mean that it represents the whole world. Firstly, let's address that point. Just because the NBA is getting popularity achievement doesn't mean it represents the whole world. That's like saying that the Premier League, since it's the most watched league in all sports, that means that they can call themselves a world champion. Let's start by that.
Global iconic brand. Arguably the best player in the game today in a lot of people's eyes is Nikola Jokic. Okay, you've got guys from Serbia, Slovenia, you know, the list goes on. Luka Doncic, where's he from? All right, Giannis Antetokounmpo, where's he from? Greece. I'm looking at a number right here. According to a news release posted just last October, the NBA currently features 120 players from 40 countries and 6 continents on its roster for last season, and it's increased now. So how is that not global?
So hold up a second. The whole argument here for Stephen A. Smith, I'm not saying this is the argument that a lot of people are using, even though every single argument is flawed. The logic here is because players, the best players from other countries, come to the United States to play in the NBA to compete. Well, shoot, I guess the Premier League is actually a world championship because 2/3 of the Premier League players now foreign. Outside of England, there's 371 players that play in the Premier League. There's more non-English players in the Premier League than English players. By that logic, this is a world championship because there's more players, none from England, that makes it a global competition. Am I getting the logic right?
How is that not global? How is that not the world champion? The best players from around the world descend upon America to join the National Basketball Association. Of the 450 plus players, nearly a third of them are international players. And the international players, rather than stay over there or electing to stay over in their respective countries or in Europe, China, or wherever the case may be, to play basketball, they want to come to the league, the NBA, because it's the best basketball league on the planet.
A long time ago, I don't remember who said this, it might have been Pelé or some other Brazilian legend, someone fact checked me in the comments, said Europeans think that our players, South American players, go to Europe because of their football and not their money. So Stephen A. Smith, I will introduce you to the idea that those players that you just said, they're not in a good financial situation. They just hit their lottery ticket to be multimillionaires by playing basketball. They are not going to the NBA because it's the best league in the world. They're going to the NBA because it's the one that's going to pay them the most. Same idea why some players from South America go to play in La Liga, Premier League, Ligue 1, any of those. They're going to get paid way more than they ever could in South America. Same idea with these players from Slovenia, from Slovakia, from Spain, from England. I don't know if there's an English player. You get my point. From Africa, all those players, they don't go to the NBA because of basketball reasons alone. They go because they hit the lottery ticket and they're gonna get paid beaucoup money just because they're good at basketball. Same idea can be said right now about the Saudi League. All these players, yes, the project's important, yes, the brand is important and everything, but all these players, if it wasn't because they're offering those buckets of money, the Saudi League wouldn't be attractive. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Now, just wait. Just wait for the Saudis to pick up on this whole situation and say, like, you know what? We'll create our competition. LeBron, we'll offer you $1 billion for 2 years. What's up?
Basketball, they want to come to the league, the NBA, because it's the best basketball league on the planet. So Noah Lyles, said a very, very, very ignorant comment because almost a third of the players are from around the world. Again, 40 countries, 6 continents. One could easily argue that NBA players compete more against international competition than he does.
Again, when it comes down to the whole, look at how many players from other countries are playing in our league, we're global. I'm just going to leave it at that. Remember how Stephen A. Smith said 1/3 of the NBA is not from the United States, right? And he said, like, I would argue that no allows plays less foreign than the NBA players do. This is the final that no allows just run. Just for example, there's only one more American here. This means that out of the last 8, only one was of his country, from the United States. Everyone else, Jamaica, Japan, Kenya, I don't know what country this is, I'm sorry. This example is even better. In the semifinal, he didn't play against another single American. Not another single American. This means that he played against 100% foreign athletes besides him. Where was this logic? And again, the argument is not saying that anyone is better than the NBA players or anyone is or a team from another league is better than the NBA teams. And again, the whole argument, I don't know where it got lost or where the players or the American fans get it lost. The whole argument is not that the NBA teams are not the best in the world. It's not that the NBA players are not the best in the world. It's that you cannot call yourself the world champions when there is other competitions that plays the same sport as you do. This is why I said the NFL is arguably the only league in the United States and in the whole world that can say, hey, we're the world champions, because nobody else plays. There's a Canadian league, but even then, they're not even like fully professional. They don't follow even the same rules. For example, if the English were to create their own NFL league, they were said like, hey, NFL, we like the game. We want to copy the rules. We want to monetize it, blah, 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 blah. We're going to do the same thing with our own clubs. At that point, if they reach to a level that they actually become serious and they become a professional league that is well established, at that point, you can now call yourself the world champions of the world. Because why? Because you have not competed against the other people that are actually playing the same sport as you. It really all goes back to the idea like, hey, the Premier League, the La Liga teams cannot call themselves world champions. Why? Because there's other leagues in the world that do it. There's other leagues in the world that play professional basketball. Their players go to the NBA, and there's NBA players that go to those countries. That alone tells you there's a world competition that you could easily do. And the Saudis are probably going to pick up on that. I'm sorry.